Hello everybody, it's your boy the Almighty Green Talent coming at you with a video which about today's game. 4-0. 4-0. What more can you say? You know what I'm saying? The Eagles won the game 29-21. It was a scrappy game in bad weather conditions. From what I've been told, that it was raining outside, but it's been freezing rain. So that means that the wind was blowing pretty high, because I've seen some videos of other Eagles content creators. You can see the wind blowing outside. So some of them had on rain jackets or rain coats, and they had on hoodies, for good protection against the weather, the extreme weather. So most of them were standing up. Some of them were sitting down. I guess it depends on if you want to stand up. It depends on if you're watching the game or not. But I can pretty much tell that most of them were standing up. They probably didn't want to sit down in them cold seats that's probably frozen to begin with. But anyway, 4-0, I'm thrilled, you know what I'm saying? But before I get to the Eagles game, I'm gonna talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars team. Now, I didn't get a chance to watch the first and second half of the game. I mean, the first half of the game, I think I only seen the second half, which was third and fourth quarter. The first half, from what I've been told, the Eagles were down 14. They were down 14-0, but they scored a touchdown in the second quarter of the first half, which put them 14-7. Jacksonville Jaguars were still up in the game. You know what I'm saying? So the Eagles scored most of their points in the second half, which we had a problem with from the beginning with. Week 1, Week 2, and Week 3 games against the Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings, and the Washington Redskins, Eagles weren't able to score none in the second half of those last 3 games. The Eagles put all their points up in the first half in all of those 3 games. So the question mark was lingering. Can the Eagles put teams away in the fourth quarter or the second half of the game? And they came through. They scored a touchdown in the fourth quarter, which is what we've been having issues with the team from the beginning. Now, had they not scored that touchdown in the fourth quarter, and I'll tell you which way the game would have gone. Cause the Jacksonville team, they're good. They 2-2. They're good. You know what I'm saying? They were 2-1, but they're 2-2. So, in my opinion, the Jacksonville Jaguars would rather be 2-2 than be 1-3 or 0-4. If you go 0-4, that means that you're gonna be low the rest of the season. You know what I'm saying? And so it takes a long time to win your first game between week 1 and week 8 or week 9 of the season. As the Jaguars go 2-2. They got a pretty good defense, they got a pretty good offense, they got a pretty good they got a wide receiving core, tight end, defensive end. I mean, the team is built from the ground up. And if you look at their entire team, they are one of the better defensive teams the Eagles have played this year. They got a damn good front four, pretty good linebacking unit. Now their secondary is suspect. Like I said in recent videos leading up to this game, I think in my key to victory video, I think I mentioned the Jacksonville Jaguars secondary. The secondary is still an issue, but they got one of the better linebackers and one of the better front fours in the NFL, and that's why they won most of the game. They won most of the game because of their front four. And the Eagles had issues with Jacksonville Jaguars front four in the first half of the game, from what I've seen and from what I was told, looking at so many videos on YouTube or on Facebook or social media for that matter. The Eagles have had issues with the team front four. They couldn't get anything going. I think Hurts got sacked one time in this game, I believe, and he also threw one pick, and that one pick led that pick he threw was a pick 6. The guy ran 35-40 yards into the end zone for the score, and that was the Jacksonville Jaguars' fourth score of the game, from what I've seen. And the second score, they had a touchdown pass thrown by their quarterback. So that's what I got from the first half. Their 14 points were scored off a defensive pick 6 and an offensive score. So that was their 14 points. and the Eagles scored that 7 points in the second quarter of the first half, which put them 7-14. That's the Jaguars was up by 7. Cause if you guys ain't familiar with it, or if you have it, or you don't know, 90% of the time when teams lead in the first half, they're more likely to win in the second half. So that's a very high statistic. But if you're very good on your side of the field, then you can battle back and win. So the Eagles battle back after being down 14 points in the first quarter, going into the second quarter, going to the third quarter, so that they scored their points in the third and the fourth quarter. Like I said before, early in the video, the Eagles had issues scoring points in the second half. The Eagles got all their points in the second half of the game, which is showing marked resilience to know that this team can win at any given time. Defensively, offensively, they got a bit of a problem with the special teams because they need to get better. I hope it gets better before the playoffs, because everybody know that if the defense do moderate and the offense does moderate, the special team might have to be the strong suit to win football games. That's what it comes down to. You need all three phases of the football to win games: special teams, offense, defense, and damn good coaching on the sidelines. If you ain't got none of those, you will lose football games. And everybody in the NFL knows that. So, like I said, Jacksonville Jaguars are a very good, scrappy team. They proved that in this game. They proved it. Like I said, this is one of the better defensive teams in the NFL. The Jacksonville Jaguars are a top 10 defense. The Eagles will be facing more top 10 defenses down the road. The question is, can they win a lot of these games? Can they stay unbeaten? Which is unlikely, because between the Arizona game and the other 3 games, the other 2 games down, because the Eagles get play 8 games before they week 9 back. We got a week 9 bye, so that's an early bye. So they got to play 4 more games before their bye week. Can they remain undefeated? I doubt it. Because we got to play Arizona Cardinals, and we got to play Dallas Cowboys down the road, and the Dallas game going to be in Philadelphia. Thank Jesus for that. You know what I'm saying? And then 2 more games after that. So I'm not exactly sure how the schedule is created based on after the Arizona game, but I know we got 3 more games after Arizona. So can we remain undefeated? I doubt it. The Eagles may lose 1 game before their bye week, but if they lose before their bye week, that means the team that we play got to either play good, very good, or the Eagles got to be down and out or hurting for us to lose the football game. That wouldn't them gonna be the only 3 reasons why we lose our first game of the year. Them three situations right there. But man, I enjoyed this game, or at least the second half of the game, rather. So I have to go back and watch the first half and see how that worked out, leading up to the 14 points down and scoring that first point in the first half. I won't say, I may be wrong. I think the Eagles scored all that points in the second half, not the first half. I think Jacksonville shut them out in the first half. I could be wrong. I may be right. I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, I'm gonna go back and watch the statistics of the game and see how it happened. But I know better for sure. Hold on just a minute. Let me look at the box scores. Okay, I'm wrong. The Eagles scored. Eagles got shut out in the first half. I'm looking at the box score. The Eagles got shut out in the first half, in the first quarter. Second quarter, they put up 20 points. But in the third quarter, which the second half, they didn't score no points. Jacksonville scored no points. Jacksonville Jaguars scored their last points in the first quarter, and the Eagles scored their last few points in the fourth quarter. So I'm actually glad I let this box score, because the box score tells everything. So yeah, that's what happened. So the Eagles scored all that part in the second half, the first half, which is pretty much the story of this entire season. All that point was scored in the first half, and they have been winning, and they've been keeping up. They've been keeping up playing good defense in the second half to win the football games. But see, it goes this way here. If you don't score any points in the second half of the game, 9 times out of 10 you will lose. So the Eagles fixed that issue by scoring their points in the fourth quarter, which is what the problem was at the beginning. Can we score points in the second half, third or fourth quarter to win football games? They solved that problem today by putting up 9 points, which is a touchdown, because they missed the field goal, which is a touchdown, and then they kicked the field goal, or Jake Elliott field goal, which made it 6. They tried to go for 2 points, but the 2-point conversion failed in the end zone. So that's your fourth quarter points right there. They got a touchdown, missed the 2-point conversion, but it came back and kicked the field goal, which gave them the 9 points in the fourth quarter of this game, which won the game by 29-21. All right. Now back to the page statistics. Okay, now, like I said in the video, SV is a scrappy team. They're good, and like my boy D Gifted 314 said in one of the video, he said the Eagles. He said the Jaguars are a sneaky good team, and he wasn't lying. The Jaguars are a sneaky good team despite the loss against the Philly Eagles today. Despite the loss, they're still a good team. Doug Peterson had the team playing well. He brought in the RPO system, which is working real well with Trevor Lawrence, who's able to get the ball out of his hands very quickly for first downs or whatever the yard may be after the ball is out of his hands. They ran the ball effectively. They protected very well, but the Eagles were able to get pressure in the third and fourth quarter of the game. So Trevor Lawrence had some pretty good protection pretty much most of this game. You know what I'm saying? And he threw for I think 174 yards. I think that's what it was. 2 scores, 1 pick. But it just the thing is, the Jaguars are a sneaky good team. They're 2-2, and anybody in the NFL will tell you, I'd rather be 2-2 than be 0-4 or 1-3. So that's how you look at that. Now let's read them some more of the statistics for the Eagles team, who put together some drives in the second quarter and the fourth quarter to win the football game. All right. Jalen Hurts had 25 for 204 yards. Now he didn't throw much of the football game, because the fact is the bad weather. So he didn't throw too much. But the time that he had time to throw, though, it may have been short passes. I think he threw one deep ball. I think he threw a few deep balls, but one deep ball led to a pick 6. And so the Eagles started running the football effectively, and I'm gonna get to the running stats soon enough. He had, like I said, 1625 for 204 yards, an 8.2 yard per average. Like I said, he no touchdown, but he did throw the pick, like I mentioned in the video more than once. The rushing attack we're finna get to now. Sanders had a career game. He's only had 100 yards. He had some 100 yards last year and the year before. And like I said, this is his third year in the league right now. And I said 4th year in the league, because in first year he played real well. Second year he played good but got hurt. Third year he got hurt and then played much at all. And so he had 27 touches for 134 yards, which is a 5.0 yard per carry, and his longest was 35 yards. If you guys remember now, if you got rid of that, the 35 yards that he ran, he ran off a Opella block. It was a Jason Kelce block going this way and Pella block going the other way. So there's a big hole that he ran for 35 yards up the field. That was his longest. But he did get 2 touchdowns as well. He had 1 touchdown off a short run, and he had 1 off a long run. Those were his 2 touchdown passes. Like I said, it is a career game. The most carries he had was 27. I think he had less than 20 carries throughout most of his career. But 27 is the highest that he's had in one game, and 134 yards is the most he had in one game. So if he keep putting up 130 plus yards like this here, he will be well on point for a 1,000-yard season. Someone mentioned he's on pace to rush for 1,500 yards, but I don't think he'll get that. He'll be lucky if he get 11 or 1,200 yards rushing this year. Maybe 9, 10 touchdowns, depending on how this season goes. You know what I'm saying? And so Hurts had 18. He had 16 carries for 38 yards. 1 score. His longest was 13. And I think that the 13 yards that he ran was for the score. Trey Sermon, thank you, Jesus. He had 2 carries for 19 yards. And that's a 9.5 yard per carry. Let me say this again. 2 carries for 19 yards. A 9.5 yard per average. And his longest was 14 yards. 14 yards. Which means he didn't run. I didn't get a chance to see him run in the second half. So I mean, he must got all the yards rushing in the first quarter. The first half of the game that I didn't get a chance to see. That's one reason why I said I'm going to go back and watch the film on Trey Sermon and see how his production was in the first half of this game. But that's not bad though. 9.5 yards per average. And I'm on 10 yards per carry. 2 carries. I can't get over that. 2 carries for 19 yards. A 9.5 yard per average. That's almost 10 yards. Wow. So if they use him next week against the Cardinals, because he's going to be needed again next week against the Cardinals, I hope he get more than 2 carries. I hope he get 9 or 10 carries for like 35 or 40 yards. And maybe his first score as an Eagle. So, but we'll see how that goes next week against Arizona, because we're going on the road at Arizona. And Kenneth Gainwell, he had 5 carries, also for 19 yards, which is a 3.8 yard per average. His longest was 10. Now see the difference there? 5 carries for 19 yards versus 2 carries for 19 yards. So Trey Sermon had the highest average of 9.5 versus 3.8. But he did get a touchdown score. Sermon didn't get a score. I think if Sermon got a score, it would be a major difference as far as the score output concerned. All right, receiving. A.J. Brown, 5 touches. 5 receptions for 95 yards. 31 yards was his high. A 19.0 average per reception. Dallas Goedert, 5 receptions for 72 yards. Or 14.4 yards per catch. His longest was 26. Miles Sanders had 2 for 22 yards. And 11.0 yards per reception, and his longest was 16. Damn, 16 on one reception, and then on the receiving, on the rushing end, he had 30. His third long was 36. So if you combine the 16 and the 36, that's over 50. That's over 50 yards combined average. Awesome. And Devontae Smith, Glenn Reaper. Yes. He had 3 receptions for 17 yards, which is kind of low, but it's a 5.7 average per catch. His longest was 7. And Kenneth Gainwell had 1 reception for -2. Wow. So he got the minute that he had the reception, he got tackled for a -2. Wow. -2 average, and Wow, I don't want to go there. I'm gonna stop right there. Stop while I'm ahead. All right, defense. DJ Edwards, 6 tackles, 2 assists, 1 sack. This guy, TJ Edwards, is putting up some great statistics for himself. If he keep playing like this here, he gonna be up for a big contract. Cause Howard ain't gonna Howard ain't gonna no choice. Howard ain't gonna have no choice but to get this guy a long term deal. Ain't gonna be no other choice. Kazir White, 4 tackles, 1 tackle for assist. Jordan Davis, he had 4 tackles and he had no assists. And he had 2. He had 1 sack. 1 sack. He had 4 tackles, 2 assists, no sacks. I'd be glad when he finally get his first sack of his career. I'd be glad when he does. I guess the more he play, the more he'll get acclimated to the speed of the game, and he'll get a better, what they call it, better, what they call it, better in shape mode to play more downs. I'm hoping to get that way up for him. But Hakeem Reddick, what more can you say about this man? 4 tackles, no assists, but he had 2 sacks. 2 sacks. Josh Wett, wow. 4 tackles, 1 assist, no sacks. Jay Scott, he had 3 tackles, 2 assists, no sacks. Brandon Graham, 3 tackles, 3 assists. And CJ Gardner, 2 tackles, no assists. Bradbury, 2 tackles, 1 INT. Awesome. And Tutupo, number 95, had 1 tackle, 1 assist. Javon Hardaway had 1 tackle, no assist. Williams, defensive tackle Williams had 1 tackle, 1 assist. Fletcher Cox had 1 tackle, 1 assist. Johnson, number 48, the linebacker, had 1 tackle, no assist, but he did have he had 2 FF. I guess that's, I don't know what FF mean, but I'm thinking with that. And Mike Epps had 1 tackle, no assist. All right, now kick return, Brian Covey. Now you know what? Now for the longer the Eagles have had issues with the special team unit. I'm hoping down the line it gets better, because if it does, like I mentioned earlier in the video, if we don't get better special teams, it's gonna cost us some games. And that's been mentioned many times by other Eagle content creators, because that's a main weakness. And Covey had 1 return for 2 yards, averaging 2, his long went 2. So I mean, after that 1 catch, he had 2 yards and got tackled. Elliott with 1 for 1, 28 was his high. His long was 28, and he was 3 for 3. Now Elliott did made a kick, and he got hit from the back by a Jacksonville Jaguars defender. From the way it looks, it looked like it was unintentional. I'm not exactly sure on that. I'm gonna go back and look on that as well. It looked like it was unintentional, because he did hit him on the back of his leg, and I don't know if it's gonna bother him during the course of the week. We won't know unless all the injury reports come out between now and Friday. We will know exactly who's gonna play next week versus who's not going to play. But Darius Slade has an injury from what I've been told, and so has the other boy had Mar-a-Lago. They say he went for a tackle and hit his shoulder. So I hope he's doing really well, because he's gonna be needed next week. If not, the Eagles probably want to bring someone off the practice squad to make up for the loss of Mar-a-Lago. And that could be a blow, but we don't know for sure. But we'll see between tomorrow and Friday. And Sapasis had 3 punts for 134 yards. His longest was 44.7. The long was 53. Touchback, he had 1 touchback, and the 1 touchback was inside the 20-yard line. So, but overall, man, I can say a lot about this NFL, about the Philadelphia Eagles team. That's all the stats. the resilience that the team is putting forward on film is remarkable. Defense is playing out of their minds right now. We had one interception, and we had three fumble recoveries. So the Eagles had about 4, maybe 5 turnovers in this game, according to what I've heard on the reports on the live stream I watched today. The Eagles are doing well defensively. We are a top 10 ranked defense in the NFL as far as sacks and turnovers. I think we we are a +9 or +10 in a turnover ratio, which is very, very good considering we're in the plus. Last thing we need to do to be in the negative, because if you in the negative, that means that you're not worthy of a top 10 ranked defense. But if you are in the plus, if you're a +1 at pushing the top 10, the Eagles are +9. So we like 7, maybe top. We either rank 6. I know what we rank number 7. I saw it. We rank number 7. We rank number 7 in the league, and for sacks and turnover margins, and getting to the quarterback with our simple front four, which is remarkable. Offense is number 1 because we're number 1 because we're finding ways to win football games. Teams are stacking the box against the run against Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is standing in the pocket, delivering the ball. Now that one pick that he threw, that was ran back for the end zone score for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So far this year, he only had 2 picks thrown this year. He only had 2, and that's remarkable. Cause around this time, okay, let me put you guys back in some memory right quick. Carson Wentz, the year before 2020, before he got traded last year. No, I'm sorry, year before last. I'm sorry, because last year. Really, last year? Hold on, 2020, 21, 22. Yeah, 2020. Before after that year came 20 in. That man had thrown like 9 or 10 interceptions about this time last year, about this time year before last. I think he threw like 5. I think he threw like 3. No, one 3. He threw double that. See, Wentz was interception prone that year. That man, around this time last year, 4 games into the season, he threw like 6 or 7 interceptions. 6 or 7. 2020. Hurts this year has thrown 2 interceptions. Now if you go back to last year, he threw like 4 or 5 last year. He got 2 this year. Because you know why? Because he's standing in the pocket. He's protecting the football. He's running when he has to run, and he's delivering the rock. If you do those, if you deliver the rock, stand in the pocket while taking a hit, run when you have to run, and most importantly, getting the ball out. If pressure's in your face, when you get the ball out, you're throwing the ball away. You're not prone to taking sacks and setting your team back so many yards back on first and second downs. He's doing those 4 well this year. Wentz didn't do none of that. Don't get me wrong. I love Wentz, and I'm always gonna respect for what Wentz had done when we got our first Super Bowl 5 years ago. I'm always gonna respect him for that. But that 2020 year, the year that he was prone, because remember now he threw for 16 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Like I said, about this time that year, he threw like 6 or 7 interceptions. About this time 2 years ago. So that's one reason why I said the Eagles are where we are now. We 4-0 because Hurts is making great decisions with the football. The offensive line is protecting them. They give them time to scan the football, scan the field, and get the ball out. And if the play ain't there, he's either going to run with it or he's going to throw it away. That's what I call making great decisions with the football. That's all what that is. and he's doing a remarkable job in doing that. If he's on pace probably this year to probably throw for 6 interceptions this year. 6. He's on pace to throw for 6. You know what I'm saying? So I give him 6. I give him like 30 touchdowns and maybe 6 interceptions. And he might have 8 or 9 rushing this year. Right now he got 3 rushing touchdowns. He got 4 rushing touchdowns this season. 4 rushing touchdowns this season. That's remarkable. That is remarkable. So, with that being said, this is your boy, the Almighty Green Talent, coming at you with a victory video. The Eagles won the game 29-21. We beat a damn good Jacksonville Jaguars team, and I can't say nothing bad about them because they are one of the better clubs in the NFL. They are still number 1 in their division. They 2 wins, 2 losses, and they still number 1 in their division. And they're gonna win more games down the road because Doug Peterson is doing a hell of a job with the Jacksonville Jaguars, like he did with the Philadelphia Eagles in his second year, in his first year. And then first year with the Jacksonville Jaguars, he's doing a hell of a job because he brought in a system that works for the quarterback and that works for the offensive line and defense because he got a young coaching staff. Like the Eagles, young coaching staff, he has a young coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? And Mike Caldwell, former Philadelphia Eagles linebacker, is the defensive coordinator for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that defense is playing sound because of him. They playing sound because of him. So without any more to say, I'm finna sit back and eat a little bit of this, eat a little bit of that, and watch some more football games on live stream. So you guys enjoy y'all Sunday, enjoy your victory. I'm definitely gonna enjoy mine. Once again, the Almighty Green Talents bringing you some stats that I hope that I'm correct on, and I hope you guys enjoy your Sunday night because I'm enjoying mine. Oh, another thing I need to bring up. I was supposed to have made a video on my new iPhone, and I was supposed to make a video on my new phone case. None of them didn't come around. None of them didn't come at all. None of them. So, with that being said, I'm supposed to go get my iPhone from UPS tomorrow. Now, will I do a video on it? Probably, but I'm not going to open it because I want to do it the way I want to do it. I want to do my phone case first, and then the iPhone. But I'm not exactly sure how am I going to do this, but we'll see how it works out. So anyway, like I said before, enjoy your night, y'all. 29-21, Philadelphia 4-0, baby. 4-0.